What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Tricky Jim. Spent all morning working on this little thing here, so hopefully you guys like that. Let me know in the comments below. But anyways, we are going to be rolling a game with Gardevoir today. I think Gardy gets a nice little bump with Ray becoming a thing for the World Championships. This is going to be World Championship testing here. In order for me to play next format games, I got to kind of organize it with a friend, so I know that both me and the friend are only using cards that are legal for post-rotation, which would involve some organization. But I just woke up, so we're going to be rolling a game here on PTCGO, and we're rocking Gardevoir. So these modern Gardevoir lists are playing all Psychic Ralts, all Psychic Curlia, and a couple copies of Mysterious Treasure. This list that I have here is largely based off of Cena's list. Cena is a prominent player with a very large history and accomplishments, who is currently not eligible to play. But yeah, so, think what you want about the Cena drama. He makes pretty good Guardy lists. So this is largely based off of his list, and I'm just going to be rocking with it. Been testing it a little bit here on PTCGO. Been testing it a little bit in real life as well. I think as far as stage 2 decks go, Guardy is pretty much, cream of the crop. It's like the best stage 2 deck you could probably pick for the World Championships. But that being said, it is a stage 2 deck and does sketch me out for all of the reasons that a stage 2 deck should sketch you out. Looks like my opponent is playing Malamar here, and they opt to go for a Rangaroo turn 1 instead of another Inkay. That makes me wonder, did they prize 3 Inkay? Because I feel like in this situation, you probably get Inkay every time. That, or they just have a dead hand and are looking to potentially draw out of it or something like that. Think I'm going to go for, I could go for a turn 1 Beacon here. That's fine. I could also just go like Mysterious Treasure, and I'm wondering, I can probably get rid of the Field Blower here. Save that Mysterious Treasure in my hand for something else. This list only plays a couple copies of Guzma, so we have to be careful about that. We do have Bridget in our deck. We also have Vulpix in our deck. Vulpix is something that Cena was not playing. I am like super about Vulpix, so I really think that Vulpix brings a lot to the deck. Just having that turn 1 Pokemon search can be huge, especially if you just have rare candy in your hand. It's very, very good. So we're going to go Lele for Bridget here. And, do we waste an energy going to get ourselves the Vulpix in the active? Probably. Like, what are the odds that we just, we probably want to start with the Vulpix in the active position instead of a Ralts or anything like that. Considering my opponent could get, a relatively quick Ultra Necrozma. I don't know if they play any sort of Max Elixir or anything like that. They could get going here pretty quickly if they hit like Max Elixir attachment for turn. And, they could start attacking pretty soon. So I'm just going to go ahead and Beacon, and we're just going for 2 Curlia here. Start to set things up. We'll save that Mysterious Treasure. I'm not going to end up needing that. I could go get my 4th Ralts, and that's not totally bad. In fact, I could have gotten a 4th Ralts this turn, but I think I want to leave that bench space open. You never know, if you get like End or something, you might need a Lele to kind of bail you out of the hand. So I think next turn I'll probably hit 2 Curlia, might Mysterious Treasure for a 4th Ralts. And we can see just having the additional search here with Mysterious Treasure very valuable. It gives us more outs to a turn 1 Tapu Lele, which is really good because Tapu Lele obviously gets you that Bridget, and getting a turn 1 Bridget is just essential in a stage 2 setup deck. So having more outs to Lele is very, very good. Also, the fact that we can play our entire basic and stage 1 line as psychic types means that the Mysterious Treasure is just super justified. So it looks like my opponent here might be going for a turn 2 Photon Geyser here just to knock out my Vulpix. That's fine. This is weak to Fairy. So like if I just get, if I get it going, I get it going. I think I just promote the Ralts and kind of hope that I, end or Cynthia myself into something crazy here, but we are going to evolve up 2 Curlias just in case we don't. So that's fine here. I think, I mean, no matter what, I'm going to need Rare Candy, Guardy, and a Rare Candy, Guardy, and a Fairy Energy off of this. So I think I can safely attach the double colorless there and kind of just hope for it. And then I'll Mysterious Treasure. My opponent still doesn't have a, they still don't have a Malamar up yet. So like, I'm not super concerned here. I could just smack also. That's an option. I can just smack for 20. In fact, I probably will smack for 20 if I miss this here. Oh my gosh, we were very close. We did get a Gallade though. So like, I actually don't feel bad just hitting this thing with Gallade. Let's just do that. So that's awesome, actually. And I have the DC on there, so I can use Sensitive Blade. I've got the Gardevoir here for next turn, and a Sycamore. That's an excellent turn for me. I can Premonition here, stack my deck. It looks like I'm playing Sycamore next turn, so I actually kind of just want my top deck. Right, I'm going to choose to Sycamore instead. So I want my top deck to be something useless. So I want it to be the Bridget. And then I'm just going to Sycamore into, you know, like these cards here. That's kind of what I want. So that sounds good. And then we're just going to Sensitive Blade. My opponent doesn't really have a great option to knock me out next turn unless they get something going like Max Elixir or anything like that. And Gallade can just be a very safe, you know, kind of front runner for me right now. Sensitive Blade for 130, very strong. They can hit me for what, 80 again. I guess if they do get, okay, if they do get Malamar here and they get a Psychic Recharge, then they will be able to knock me out doing 180 damage. But if they do that, I know I'm getting a a Fairy and a double colorless energy and a Choice Band off of this Sycamore here because I did Premonition. So I know that I have way more than enough to knock out this Ultra Necrozma with a Gardevoir GX. And with only one Malamar in play, I'm not super confident that my opponent will be able to pull off the return knockout here. Now, they could whoop up something crazy with Beast Ring, but I guess they would have to Beast Ring onto a new Ultra Necrozma and also hit an attachment for turn and also the Malamar here. So they would need quite a bit. I'm just going to bump my Lele. That's kind of a no-brainer move for me there. No problem. Sometimes Parallel City is not all that great because you just, you know, let your opponent get rid of their liabilities. So that's kind of what happened there. And the Gallade goes down. So Ultra Necrozma taking 2 prizes on 2 non-EXs. That's fine. I needed a couple turns for myself to kind of get powered up here. We're going to promote the Ralts because I have Rare Candy Gardevoir in my hand, leaving myself with 2 Curlias on the bench so that I can easily evolve those up in the following turn. And I know that my Sycamore here is going to be fire because I already checked it out with that Premonition. I can Super Rod some things back in. I think I would like to hit, yeah, Fairy Energy at least. So let's get the Ralts, the Gallade, and the Fairy Energy back into the deck. Fine with that. Start to kind of get those coming back around. We're going to Secret Spring once onto my Guardy. And then I could slap the double colorless energy onto my Guardy, but there's almost no point in doing that. I think I go down to 4 prizes. They can't GX me because, you know, I mean, that's actually a little scary if they get Beast Energy. Well, I guess they can't Beast Energy Choice Band because they have the Floatstone on, so they'd have to Field Blower themselves. That'd be a lot, but obviously GX would be kind of scary, but they're not going to be able to GX me next turn because we're going to both be at 4 prizes. I guess I think the safest place for my double colorless energy is the active position because if I put it on the bench, that could just be an easy Guzma target for my opponent to knock that out because they might have a hard time knocking out the Gardevoir. So I feel like I just Infinite Force here. And having 3 energy on the Gardevoir is not bad because that's going to make it easier for me to knock out things on my opponent's side of the field, especially if they don't, you know, if they don't get like an attack off. So then I could just like Guzma something, take a knockout. If I need to get 6 energy, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, if I need to get 6 energy to knock out something like a Lele, I'll do it. It's not a problem. I can slap DCE, Choice Band, Guzma. I don't actually have a free retreater, so it's not that simple, but we'll figure it out. Not too worried about it. If they do get a 3 energy attacker, I can just use the DC to retreat one of my Curlias and go ahead and take a knockout with the Guardy. But I'm feeling like I'm in a pretty commanding position here. Pretty nice. We got the Field Blower here. We can disrupt my opponent a little bit. I kept the Choice Band in my hand. That's just something that you're going to want to do in the deck if you don't necessarily need if you don't need it. I didn't need it for the knockout, so I wasn't going to go ahead and play it. And we're going to watch this Ultra Necrozma deck just take a knockout on the Gardevoir. So long as they can attach a Psychic from hand, then they just have it with only one Malamar in play. That's absolutely insane. I mean, that's just like, that just feels bad, man. Like they're not even set up. Like, this is outrageous. I think I still should be fine though, as long as I can just get a hold of a Fairy Energy. I'm gonna be okay. I need to get a hold of a Fairy Energy and a Gardevoir. Unfortunately, I've only got an N to 4 for myself. I think they're probably gonna Skyla for either another B-String or a letter. Yep. And they're just going to be able to charge up that Ultra Necrozma. This is insane. Like, I cannot believe that they will have taken 4 prizes with only one Malamar in play. I mean, who needs it, I guess? That's just, it is wild. I mean, they're not going to be able to use their Moon's Eclipse GX this game. I don't anticipate that they'll be able to do that. I still think attaching the DC to the active was the correct play. I knew that this was a possibility of happening. I just didn't know if they just had all the juice in their hand quite like that. But it looks like they did. So we have to promote here. And, oh, thank goodness, we did top deck a Gardevoir. That makes the combination much easier to hit. I just need a Fairy Energy, so that should be good. I'm going to thin my deck as much as I can because I just need to hit a Fairy like that bad. We're going to disrupt my opponent here, discarding their Parallel and their Floatstone. That means when I end them to 2 here, it is going to hurt a little bit worse. They don't have that free retreat on the Necrozma. I need a Fairy bad. Oh, we got it. So that is really good. So I'm doing 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, like 300 damage here. I should be able to sweep now. They don't have access to B-String anymore. This is like just what we needed to happen. It's all working out. They don't have access to B-String now. B-String was the only thing saving them from their suboptimal setup here with only one Malamar in play, and they happen to just have like everything they needed on that one turn. I highly doubt that they have it like that again. I just, like, they're going to Cynthia here. I don't think that there's anything they can do aside from like double Max Elixir, but I don't think this list is playing Max Elixir. I think you either choose to play your B strings or you choose Max Elixirs or letters, right? Or Max. There's no way you play B string, letter, and Max Elixir. There's no way you play all 3. So they're just going to pass with like the Oranguru active or something like that. And then I can actually go and Lele for Guzma if the Guzma is still in deck. I think I do have Guzma in deck. So let's, actually, I'm going to just be careful here. I don't know if my second Lele is in deck, so, or my third Lele or whatever. I think I played like 3 Lele. So we're going to be careful here, and we're going to throw these things back in the deck first with Super Rod. And then I'm pretty sure my Guzma is in deck. So let's check that real quick. If not, I think I kind of have to end. So we are going to keep the end. We're going to Ultra Ball away these and look for that Lele and Guzma. There's Lele's, there's Guzma. So we should be good to go here, I think, right? 3, 6, 9. I have Choice Band on. So did I mess this up? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. No, I didn't mess this up. So good. Didn't mess it up. Great. Let's, we're going to go get the Guzma here. I'm going to be able to Guzma that up since he put 2 energy on it. I could just Guzma the Necrozma there. Yeah, promote my Lele. It's got a retreat of 1. And we're just going to retreat into my Guardy and take the game. So good game there versus my opponent with Ultra Necrozma. Pretty close. I mean, any deck that can just trade one-hit knockouts with your Gardevoir GX is going to be a little bit sketchy there. But we saw they had a suboptimal board position getting set up. They were able to get themselves through the first 4 prizes, but didn't really give themselves enough juice in the deck to take their final prize there. And I'm not actually sure that they would have been able to do it. They would have needed a GX to do 230. They would have needed Beast Energy, the Choice Band, and they would have had to do that GX for 180, which I wasn't really going to ever give them that option. The only way they would have been able to GX me for knockout is if I actually took that Oranguru. So I think like there's just no world where I just like knock out that Oranguru. I think like in a situation there, if I do miss the knockout, so say I don't have Guzma, right? You don't actually knock out the Oranguru because then my opponent can GX me for game. You would just Twilight there and you would wait to get the Guzma, and if they want to try and 2-shot you, that just gives you more time to eventually knock them out. So that's the way the game would have played out now that I'm like going back and thinking about it. But anyways, thank you all for watching the video. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel. Let me know, what do you all think about Gardevoir GX in the comments below. I think Gardevoir GX is going to be a force to be reckoned with next format, especially it doesn't really lose a lot. It loses Gallade, loses Sycamore, sure, but I think that Gardevoir is just one of those decks that's going to be able to keep up in the new meta and actually may cause an increase in the amount of metal Pokemon we see played. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to sub to the channel and ring that bell. Check out the Patreon stuff and the Etsy store in the description below. Also got some Misty Mats back in stock in the Etsy store. Had a lot of people asking about those lately too. Peace.